Former Congresswoman and Republican presidential candidate Michelle Bachmann appeared here at a Stop the Iran Nuclear Deal rally. We asked Bachmann why she opposes the deal and about the 2016 presidential election. I just wanted to ask you, of course, about the Iran deal, why you're here, and I'm assuming from what I heard, you oppose the deal. Why do you oppose it?
Well, because what this is going to do is put the Jewish state of Israel directly in the crosshairs of annihilation. Today, the Ayatollah Khamenei tweeted that 25 years from now, Israel won't exist. They couldn't be more clear in their intentions. And also, Barack Obama has admitted that ultimately this deal will mean that Iran has a nuclear weapon. Why in the world would you give the leading state sponsor of terror a nuclear weapon and make them a $1 trillion terrorist state? They're going to be rich to boot. Why would you do that? So the good news is that it is possible to stop this deal. The deal that was struck is that President Obama had to provide the full agreement to Congress. In exchange for doing that, Congress made a really stupid bargain. They said, hey, we'll have to put more votes up to defeat the bill, but just let us see the whole agreement. President Obama didn't do that. He had until July 19th to do that. There's these phony secret side deals that talk about inspections, which, by the way, is the whole ball game, and that this Congress is denied seeing. So all the Republicans have to do in the House and Senate is stand up and say, Mr. President, you didn't meet your terms of the agreement, and federal law says the sanctions stay in place. So we're not even going to hold a vote today because there's no need to. The sanctions stand. So that's what the Republicans should say and tell the world. Barack Obama, in my opinion, is still going to lift the sanctions. He's still going to go forward to help Iran get a nuclear bomb. But let him do that. And then when the next president comes in, he and the next Congress then can try and defeat Iran in their quest to have a nuclear bomb.
Vice President Cheney said recently it should have been treated as a treaty. It shouldn't be just an agreement. Do you agree with that?
Of course, he's right. I was with Vice President Cheney yesterday. He spoke and gave a marvelous speech at the American Enterprise Institute, and I was there with him and agreed with 100% of everything he said. Of course, this is a treaty. There are executive agreements that a president can make with other nations. This is what you call a very big deal. This is transforming the entire world with this agreement. Therefore, this rises to the level of being construed as a treaty. So, of course, again, what the Republican leadership needs to do is say, Mr. President, you failed according to what's called the Corker Amendment, federal law. You failed in your obligation. This is a treaty. You don't have the votes for a treaty. And by the way, because you failed under federal law, these sanctions stick. We are not funding other endeavors of yours, and you're on your own.
Now, a question for you about the election. Donald Trump's topping all the polls for Republican voters. Do you think he would be a good nominee for the Republicans?
If he's the nominee, I support Donald Trump, whoever the nominee is. I like what he is saying on a number of issues. I think people recognize that we have finally got to secure America's borders. We've got to deal with immigration. We've got to deal with our economy. And we've got to get tough with foreign thugs around the world, of which this administration is making common cause. But the biggest thing that's happening right now is that for the first time in American history, America has, I'm talking past tense, America has turned its back on Israel. And I say that because on July 20th, Barack Obama ordered our UN ambassador to sign this Iran deal. It's already been signed at the UN Security Council. And that is the first time that all of the nations of the world have come against Israel. That's what that agreement does. That is how serious and how consequential this is. And I believe that that bodes bad tidings for the United States in the future. And so anything that our members of Congress can do to throw a monkey wrench into this agreement, they must do. It's their duty.